Hey guys, this is Smithy. Today's video is a super special video. We're going to talk about top 10 influencer collaboration that should have never left the industry altogether, because these are some makeup gems in our industry. Some of them are at their last leg of almost leaving the industry, and some of them have already left. So if you guys do have these palettes already in your collection, I absolutely feel that these are like some golden gems in your collection that either brand should get back or should have never left. I love them so much. Some of them I'm wearing on my eyes and face today. So yes, without further ado, let's dive right into the video and talk about my top 10 influencer collaborations. Most of them I would say is eyeshadow palettes, face palettes, and one is a highlighter. But in no particular order, let's begin with Anastasia Beverly Hills, because they have one of my favorite eyeshadow formulas. But most of the things that I really like are either out of stock or out of their line altogether. So let's start with the obvious. I love my Anastasia Jackie Aina palette, and this is definitely a limited edition palette, but you can find it still on their website at $31, I think, and it's been on a sale price for a long time. So if you guys do not have it, do not wait, run and get it, because this is worth every single penny. These have some beautiful jewel tones. If you guys are into pinks and purples, this is the palette for you. I cannot even tell you how much I love this. I actually started playing with colors after using this palette. So I think this is well worth it. It has some beautiful mattes, beautiful shimmers, beautiful duochrome, and like I would say pressed glitter kind of a formula, but it is a shimmer formula, but it looks like a pressed glitter when you apply it on your eyes. Super amazing and versatile palette. Definitely a must have in your collection if you do not own it. I mean, go run get it. The next Anastasia palette that I have to talk about is their Amrezy palette. Now I don't think you can find this anywhere. Sometimes it does come on like Beautylish's website. I picked out mine from Sephora when it was on like a sale price and they were like ending the stock. This is also another beautiful palette. It has like some neutral basic mattes that you need in your everyday life, but it also has some pop of like colors and shimmers to amp up any kind of look. If you're looking for some fun in the day, I mean, these glitters and shimmers, I mean, I love Anastasia shimmers altogether. The mattes are super blendable, and this is no exception at all. Absolutely love the transitioning shades, the deepening shades. There are 4 deepening shades and all so worth in this palette, because it supports the purpley pinky matte. It has that neutral brown, it has a black, it has some cool tone like burgundy tone, a brown shade. I mean, it's so versatile. I can drool over this palette so much. This is definitely like my complimentary palette to any shimmer duochrome palette that I own in my collection. So I absolutely love this. Now let's talk about an old palette, which I think it should have never been discontinued because the shimmers were extraordinary. And I'm talking about BH Cosmetics Carly Bible palette. This I have used a ton, and I mean a ton. I still go for these shimmers and highlighter shades whenever I am looking for that punchy look. I mean, let me swatch it for you guys. It's still just so amazing, so beautiful, so impactful. Can you see that? Oh my God. They should have never discontinued this. If I'm looking for like a glam palette, I'm definitely looking for that. I think they should keep that in their permanent line altogether. Carly did like an absolute fabulous job in creating that palette. And I don't think I can ever get rid of this palette. I love it so much. Okay, now let's talk about a face palette, which you can still find it on Ulta's website and on Target. You should have this in your collection if you do not have it already. And I'm so serious about it. Guys, you just need to try it if you do not have it. And this is the Physicians Formula Butter Collection with Whaley Hong. This is such a beautiful palette. You just need it. It has 2 bronzers, 2 blushes and 2 highlighters. Everything that you need for any look, I would say. It has more of a sheeny bronzer, a more of a matte bronzer. It has more of a peachy blush and a mauve blush. It has more of like that pinky champagne kind of a highlighter and a rose gold kind of a highlighter. The formula is stunning. The price is even more amazing. I think I recently saw this on Ulta's website for $10. 6 shades for $10. Are you kidding? And it is so blendable, so amazing. And it definitely does have a scent of that tropical vacation kind of a typical butter bronzer scent. I absolutely love it and I cannot wait to play with it so much more. I generally do play with this off camera a lot. I do not play with it on camera because I have always so much to test out on camera. That's the only reason. But when I'm like on a rush, I just use this palette all over my face and I'm done. I also do apply that on my eyes too. I've applied this actually on camera a few times. I'll link a few videos in the iCards above, but I absolutely love it. Without a doubt, a must have in your collection. So the next thing that I've talked about is the highlighter. Now I have it in a palette. Let's move on to the next thing that I have to talk about, and that is a highlighter. Now I have it in a palette, but I'm basically talking about the highlighter in this palette, and it is from Becca. And the highlighter that I'm going to talk about is Champagne Pop. This one that Jaclyn Hill created. Undoubtedly, this is the most beautiful, blinding, but subtle, that flows into your skin so beautifully, that kind of an highlighter. Especially if you do have like a light medium tan skin tone, this would look stunning on you. This is definitely the highlighter that I'm applying if I do want like some kind of a blindingness happening, but also that flows into my complexion beautifully. This is the highlighter that I'm wearing today, and you guys can see, I mean, that is blinding, but it is seamless on the skin too. So I absolutely love this Becca highlighter in Champagne Pop. Now let's talk about another eyeshadow palette that Raw Beauty Christie collaborated with Colourpop, and it is At Forest Sight palette. Now this is, I would say, like a sister palette to Jackie Aina palette from ABH, but with much more like deeper jewel tones. These jewel tones are so beautiful with like greens and blues and burgundies and purples and pinks and oranges. I absolutely love the tones that were selected in this palette. You can definitely go with like a simple eye look using this, staying in this family, but you can deepen it so much with these shades. I absolutely love this. This should not have discontinued at all, because I know a lot of people who love this palette, and this should stay there for eternity. Similar to the palette that I'm going to talk next, which is also from Colourpop. Let's talk about that, and that is, I'm pretty sure that you can guess what it is, and it is So Jaded palette from Colourpop, which was in collaboration with Kathleen Lights. I do not know anybody who used this palette and has said, it's okay. No, it is absolutely great. This has so much of variety in it. It has so much to do. Like, it's not like obnoxiously big too. I mean, this is definitely a bigger palette in the Colourpop family with, how many shades are there? With 30 shades in it, but it's still a concise palette with beautiful color story. I mean, every color in the rainbow spectrum is inside this, and it's just beautiful. I completely have not used this palette fully, I would say, but I'm still planning on using this so much. I really want to do like a chatty get ready with me using this palette, because you guys have asked for like 5 looks using this palette. I don't know if you guys are still interested, do let me know, but because this is like discontinued, that's why I'm a little hesitant on doing that, because I really do not like doing or showing off products that you cannot buy. That's why I've kept it on like a back burner, but if you are interested, definitely do let me know. Now let's talk about another face palette which you can still find in their website, and I'm going to talk about my Ofra's face palette, and this is in collaboration with Wahida Khan. This is stunning. I mean, I can take this palette all alone for a vacation and be very happy with. I do customize this palette a lot. This is all in its glory, but I do switch these 2 shades because I'm not like a big hot pink kind of a girl, nor am I like a big yellow person, but I do shift this to other shades that I really own in my collection. By the way, all these pans are magnetic, so you can take it out and put like any Colourpop eyeshadow in it. I do actually take like one of the blushes out and this bronzer out, because this bronzer can work as a bronzer for me, and I put like JD Glow eyeshadows, like that dimensional eyeshadows in place of this. I mean, you can do so much with this palette, and the tones are so blendable, so buildable. It's absolutely amazing. You do not need any other highlighter because this highlighter has everything in it. This is a spectacular bronzer on my skin tone, I would say. It has like that deepening shades with like deep brown shade and a black shade. It has like a matte creamy bone shade for your underneath the eyes, as well as like to blend anything out. You have two beautiful blushes, another body highlight. If you are a deeper complexion, this would be stunning on you, but I do switch this and this out, and maybe one of the blushes out, and put my JD Glow dimensional eyeshadows there, and then switch these two shades for another like purpley shade or something like that. I absolutely love playing with this. So I definitely wanted to include that. This you can definitely find it in the Ulta's website even now, but I picked mine out at like a Black Friday sale. So wait for a sale to happen and then get this. You will definitely not be disappointed. The next eyeshadow palette is from Morphe, and this is the only Morphe palette that I own, but so worth the money. And this is the original Jaclyn Hill palette. I don't know what people say about, but I absolutely love this palette. I mean, I just love this palette. I love the tones in this. I love the transitioning shades. I love the shimmers. These are the only 4 shades that I do not get use out of the whole palette. Not so much, but I've still used it on my channel. But I absolutely love it. I mean, I am a big fan of this palette. No matter how you think about Jaclyn, how you think about Morphe, the palette is amazing and it works beautifully, and I would not want Morphe to get rid of this palette anytime soon, I would say, because this is like a good beginner palette. If you want to own just one palette in your collection and want to do so much with it, this would be the palette that I would recommend. The next palette that I want to talk about is from Sydney Grace, and it is the Tiny Marbles palette in collaboration with Mel Thompson. This is another palette that is so inspiring. It's so playful. It is so blendable. The shades, the shadows, the quality, the dimension that these give is absolutely stunning. Now this goes out of stock like within minutes as soon as it is restocked, but I don't think it's discontinued. It might be out of stock, but as soon as it is back in stock, I will definitely let you guys know, as any other palettes which I am like a big fan of, on my Instagram handle. So do follow me there on my Instagram. I'll link it somewhere on the screen for you guys. But this is absolutely stunning. If you still have not tested out Sydney Grace formula, you should definitely test it out. I know that these are a little on the pricier side, but the shadows are so much worth it, and they have like some kind of a sale in like Christmas in July kind of a thing, I think. So wait for some kind of a sale and then pick it out if it is in stock. But this palette specifically is so much worth the price. I love it. And the last palette that I have to talk about, I personally feel that this was the best influencer palette that was ever released in the makeup industry, and I'm talking about Dose of Color's Sprinklation palette in collaboration with Desi and Katie. This is like my everyday palette in every form. If I'm going for work, you bet 8 out of 10 times I'm using this palette, because these have some beautiful these have some beautiful and perfect transitioning shade, like a deepening shade. It has some neutral tones. The shimmers are absolutely stunning. This is the palette that I'm wearing on my eyes today. I basically this and this on my outer and the inner corners, and I have this in the center of my eyelid, and that's my eye look. This is absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. In my opinion, this is like the perfect palette that they should have never ever discontinued. The shimmers are spectacular and transformational, because you can like mix. I've said this so many times in my videos, that's why I do not want to repeat, but you should know, if you do own this palette, you can mix 2 shimmers together to create a 3rd shade altogether. Let me show it to you if you do not believe me. And this is the red shimmer, and if you put like blue on top of that, it becomes like a beautiful purple. I mean, it's just stunning. Go look at that dimension. I love it. This should have never been discontinued. I'm such a big fan of that palette, especially. Absolutely love it, and that's like my #1 influencer palette ever created. And if you do have like an influencer palette that is still in the market, which has not been sold out, and I have not mentioned in these palettes or in this collection, definitely do let me know in the comment section below, so that I can grab it as soon as I can, because it might not be available in near future. But yes, if you did like this video, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 to 4 videos every single week, but until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.